Hello everyone, welcome back. It is Thursday morning. It's absolutely freezing here in Ireland, but somehow Megan Thee Stallion and Spiritbox doing a track together is not the weirdest news I've heard in the past 12 hours. I know, mental. The other weird news that I just wasn't expecting is that it was brought to my attention when I was on stream last night on Twitch that Garrett Russell had, I'll use the term indirected me very loosely because it doesn't really feel that deep, but I guess that would be the official term for what has happened. So on Twitter or X or Twitter, whatever the f it's called these days, I don't know, Garrett Russell tweeted this. So before we go any further down the topic, which again isn't that deep, let me just preface this by saying I am well aware that when I click upload on YouTube and post a video, I've put all the tags in, I've put the titles in, I've put the description in, I've spent time editing it, I've decided how the thumbnail is going to look. I am well aware of the consequences of doing so. When you have any form of an audience, you're responsible for what you post. And I am not complaining about Garrett tweeting about this whatsoever. He is as entitled to his opinion on my video as I am to my opinion about their album. So the tweet reads, why is this the first thing that pops up when you search SUPERBLOOM on YouTube? Lol, I guess we need to film a video for our, in brackets, underwhelming title track. So obviously, let's get playful with this because it's not that deep. He's clearly being somewhat sarcastic. But at the same time, when I first read this, I was confused as to what was going on because I don't know if he's completely misunderstood my title or he's deliberately playing into a promo for a potential SUPERBLOOM title track video, because my title is actually suggesting that the album in and of itself as a whole, the SUPERBLOOM album, was slightly underwhelming. So I could sit here all day and talk about semantics and what Garrett really meant and like really hyperanalyze the tweet, but at the end of the day, it's just a tweet. He just screenshot it and put it up and probably didn't think that deeply about it. He probably didn't think I was going to be doing a video on this. And again, I'm not trying to call anyone out here. It's not that deep, but I am going to quickly touch on the question that he's posing in his post and assume that he's being serious about it. I don't know if he's kind of memeing this question as well, if it's a rhetorical question. I don't think he's actually expecting someone to answer, but why is this the first thing that pops up when you search SUPERBLOOM on YouTube? Firstly, that's not true. Like, it's just not. If maybe for him it was, and that's unfortunate, but the only reason that is, and again I'm speculating a little bit, is because I know for a fact that Garrett has watched one of my videos before, at least one. Not suggesting he's only ever watched my videos before. I'm sure he checks out all of the other content creators, do a great job, but he's messaged me before about checking out the When the End Began album reaction, which you can find on YouTube as well if you want to go and check that out. But I did a tribute to Garrett's dog who had passed away. I did like an emotional piece on that to intro the album because I have my own dog here. He's literally like glued to me. He's with me all the time. So I really understand the emotional connection that people have with dogs. So I wanted to like honor that connection in my video, and Garrett reached out and sent a lovely message to me. Not going to go into the details of that, that's all private between me and Garrett, but the point I'm making is that he's watched one of my videos before and I have receipts of that. And the way the YouTube algorithm works is you tend to rank higher if you've been watched by that person before. So, or the other way around, I think I phrased that wrong, but you know what I'm trying to say. He's definitely watched one of my videos before. Again, I'm somewhat speculating because he could easily have been on a different account, but if you go onto Google incognito right now or sign out of your account and delete all your history and type in Silent Planet SUPERBLOOM reaction, or just type in what he said, SUPERBLOOM, I'm not the first one that pops up, and that's a fact. If you even look at the views on the videos, nothing would suggest that my video is like performing way above everyone else's. It's just not. It's not true. It is unfortunate that my title is slightly underwhelmed, but it's also completely true, which is another point I want to get onto. So last point, and then we can all go home. Okay, kids, we can all go home. So I saw this video and I think he gave it an 8 out of 10 and said they liked quite a few of the tracks. Made the title confusing. So first and foremost, that's not true. I'm being petty here, but I gave it an 8.2 out of 10. Just, you know, just throwing that out there. I gave it an 8.2 out of 10. And the title being confusing confuses me because at the end of the video, I made my thoughts very, very clear. Enjoying a project, whether it be in any genre, and finding something underwhelming are not mutually exclusive. They can both exist together, in my opinion. Maybe some people will disagree. And again, this is why I'm posting this video, because I think there's a lot of fun points to be brought up here. I set my expectations so high for this album because, again, Antimatter and Collider are two of my favorite tracks that I heard this year. So two of the singles were phenomenal. So my own expectations were up here, and this is through no fault of the band. This this is my own expectations just being set so high. Not blaming anyone for this. So when the album came out, and I stand by that to this day, I'm underwhelmed by the album because the tracks that they brought out as singles to me were the highlights. I know some people are loving the SUPERBLOOM title track, which is obviously what Garrett is memeing in his tweet. I didn't love it. I didn't feel the emotional connection. Can that change over time? Of course. But in response to that exact tweet, Garrett also replied and said, that is odd. Maybe it's a clickbait thing. I don't know. So he's not even watched the video either. So, I mean, it just seems a bit like disingenuous to like post it and kind of come at me as if I'm like shitting on the album. Of course, it is unfortunate that the first thing he sees when he opens his YouTube is underwhelming. I would understand if I'm lying or if I'm doing it just to get clicks, but they are my honest thoughts about the album. And at the end of the day, integrity is important for me when it comes to these reactions, and it's the only reason I enjoy doing them in the first place, because I wouldn't enjoy sitting here every single fucking week, every single day, doing reactions and giving my thoughts and interacting with the community if I was just saying the same thing over and over again. I would get burnt out insanely quick. So I like to think that I try to be as honest as possible. That can be very problematic in the space because it's so tight knit. If you piss off a few people, you're kind of like cutting yourself off from a lot of people. But unfortunately, I feel as though it's just something that needs to be done if you want to have any credibility as a reaction or review channel, and for people to actually be able to take you serious when you do enjoy something. So there are my thoughts. I don't know if I've missed anything. Maybe I have. Again, I want to finish all this off by saying this is not shots at Silent Planet. I know some people just love the whole like exaggeration of things and really trying to like nail home certain things that I might have said out of context. But I will finally say that Silent Planet are a fantastic band. Yes, I'm underwhelmed by their album. Is it still one of the better metalcore albums of this year? I would still argue it is. An 8.2 out of 10 is by no means a bad album. If anything, an 8.2 out of 10 being underwhelming in my eyes is way more of a compliment to the band than probably most of the reviews on YouTube. So make of that what you will, guys. I'd love to know what you think in the comments down below. Again, let's try keep it civil. No fucking name calling and shit. I mean, by all means, if you disagree with me, please be my guest. Let me know. Give me your thoughts. Let's start a discussion. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.